It wasn't long before hundreds of them were rearrested, and the United Nations is now warning of more atrocities against the civilian population as the military prepares for a massive offensive. Tom Andrews is the UN Special Rapporteur for Myanmar.
We're hearing that tens of thousands of troops are being deployed to regions in the north and northwest. Heavy weaponry, other military assets are being deployed. We've also heard that there have been directions from the leadership, the military leadership, to not only annihilate the People's Defense Forces, so-called People's Defense Forces in this area, but also to inflict a severe punishment on civilians that are perceived to be aligned with them. The other very disturbing element of this is that we're hearing that the very troops that were involved in the genocidal attacks against the Rohingya in Rakhine State in 2016 and 17 are part of these units.
Same soldiers. And they used Facebook to do those attacks last time.
The northwest.
Nobody's trying to stop them, but you need to seize Facebook so that people can't do that stuff.
Signs of resistance, armed resistance in this area of the country. So it is for this reason that many speculate that this mobilization is occurring.
You let them genocide the Rohingya, and now they're genociding the other Myanmar people.
Offensive, but could we expect it also to spread to the rest of the country? After all, these people's defense forces are active.
Got to stop fascism
There is no
everywhere.
Question. There are regions all
We
around
can
the
help
country
by
that are
seizing
resisting.
Facebook.
I must say, peacefully. There's a massive civil disobedience movement in effect. There are so-called citizen sanctions being imposed.
Hopefully that wins. Shut it down,
some estimate
folks.
have cost them up to $1 billion.
Good luck with the nonviolence.
But the armed resistance is showing up again in various pockets, much of it without command and control, working fairly independently as small military, actually it's a stretch to say military units.
It's the guerrilla warfare you're going to get all over the world.
Single-shot flintlock rifle types of weapons.
Wow.
But in the north, the north and the northwest, where we're seeing this increased mobilization, these forces have been larger in number and more sophisticated in their approaches.
I mean, preparations are clearly been going on for some time for this offensive. Why is the military, do you think, going for what might be described as the nuclear option in trying to eliminate any
Because they're scared and desperate
to its rule?
and evil?
Frankly, there is desperation. They have come to realize, the junta leadership, that they made a gross miscalculation in this coup. The country is in a humanitarian, economic, human rights crisis.
Sounds like
so
Afghanistan.
Things are desperate indeed. This military, if you're a hammer, everything looks like a nail. So for them, they're
That's why we need to get rid of militaries altogether, all over the world.
Comfortable doing, as it were, is to respond with brute ferocity and force. And that is exactly what I think we're seeing. And the reason they're mobilizing these troops is because that's what they do. They mobilize, they kill people, and they terrorize people with their
Genociders going to genocide. Same thing with Trumpers in America.
What you're saying in
They're
order
Nazis.
to alert the world about what is going to happen or what is likely to happen. But do you really expect a reaction, given the relative silence there was when the army conducted their offensive against the Rohingya in the
Given that no one cares, given that everyone else is racist.
History seems to be repeating itself. I hope not. I truly hope not.
Well, we
But
can do something
all
about
the
it.
signs are there.
At least the media
And
did do
it is
some things to report
imperative
about the
that world
Rohingya genocide.
The world act now, and if
Seize
they don't,
Facebook.
if the world again turns aside, we could have a catastrophe.
Just
Do you have
seize
any news
Facebook and do
of
not
the
let them coordinate their
whereabouts
attacks
of,
via Facebook. They're going to
Sam
do it
Suu
again because you know
or,
Facebook isn't
in
stopping
very
them.
general terms,
Facebook
the
is Nazi.
state of the parliamentary opposition?
We do not. We do not know where she is or the president is. There are thousands
cares
of
where Aung
political
San Suu
prisoners,
Kyi is?
as
She
you
didn't
know,
help.
There was the announcement of the release of 5,000 political prisoners after ASEAN announced that the junta would not be welcome at the upcoming ASEAN summit. It was a strike against their need for legitimacy
Yeah,
and
everybody
their
should
need to
boycott them,
project
shut them
legitimacy
down.
among the population. So they release these
Same with the
political
Taliban.
prisoners.
Stop acting
But
like they
there
are
thousands
legitimate.
who
Just
remain.
form
In fact,
a
we're getting
legitimate
reports now
government to
that
replace them.
those that were released just a few days
Make a
ago
new
have
capital
already
city
been
somewhere else.
rearrested. And these are people at all levels, from the president of the country and the state councilor down to those who are simply working in their neighborhoods, who have maybe expressed some opposition. There continue to be large numbers of people who are in detention. People
Should have stopped
continue
the
to
evil
be
military when they were
detained for
genociding the
exercising their
Rohingyas.
Is there unanimity
Now they're
within the
doing it to
military
their own
leadership
people.
as to the way forward? This
It's like we should have stopped Trump when he was genociding
with military.
minorities in America. They're going to be doing it to everybody if we don't stop them.
This is like being occupied by a foreign military. These are troops who are in Myanmar. But we're seeing breaks. We're seeing defections. 2,000
That's another thing you need is the military to turn on itself.
And it is not far for me to imagine that there are discussions going on within the military ranks, particularly in the mid-level
You can tell
ranks,
Trumpers are against the
that
U.S.
this has just
military
gone
now
too
because they
far,
know the U.S.
and
military is
enough.
against
Now, I've
terrorism and
spoken
white
to some
supremacy.
who have defected.
We're getting
Actually
there.
going
We're
through a
getting it
defection,
there.
Making that decision is
Got
a
to
fraught
purge.
one. It's very dangerous. So the military has taken great pains to protect itself. But it is clear to me that this brutality and ferocity that has been unleashed against not only the people and areas of the country that have been...
We can do our part to stop it. Just seize Facebook. Facebook is how they ran their messages to do the genocide against the Rohingya.
Are being unleashed on the people of Myanmar.
Facebook just pretending we don't understand the language was their excuse. If we seize Facebook, we can monitor and we can shut down their communications
Tom
network.
Andrews, the UN Special Rapporteur.
We owe it to the innocent people of Myanmar, Burma.